Hi, Danny with MobileMusicTeacher.com, and I wanted to showcase a few of the beats that I like to teach my students. At a beginning level, obviously we go over fundamentals, how to hold the stick, posture, rudiments, drum fills, the parts of the drum set, different ways to hold the stick, different techniques. All these things I like to go over before trying to build a beat. But once we get to that point, one of the first beats I like to teach is really simple. It's quarter notes on the hi-hat. So you go 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. You keep that going, and then on the 1 and 3 you add the kick drum, and 2 and 4 you add the snare. So it sounds like this: 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's a pretty basic beat. Another beat I like to show my students on a more novice level comes from the drummer Jorma Vick from the punk band The Bronx. He's playing open-handed, and he is creating this double bass drum feel between the floor tom and the kick drum. And I'll just play it and then I'll break it down. It goes like this. Now this beat is a little bit difficult because if you're not used to playing open-handed, it's hard to retrain your hands and your brain to do something. Because we usually play like this, cross-handed. If we're a right-handed drummer, if we're left-handed, we're over here. But for this beat, we're playing open-handed. The floor tom and the kick are doing these opposing notes back and forth. And then I'm actually bringing the right hand over to the snare. And then the left hand is keeping 4/4 time with quarter notes. And I think Jorma also likes to take it a step further and cross his hands back over like this. Fun stuff. So that's another beat I like to show. And if even more advanced rhythm would be something like Tool, the song Eulogy, playing 16th notes on the hi-hat and accenting every 3 notes, so it has this triplet feel almost. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And Danny Carey, the drummer's opening the hi-hat on every 3. And then the kick drum and the snare are in a regular 4/4 rhythm, with the pattern being now you got to combine the two, and it's pretty tricky. Sounds like this. So you have the triplet feel on the hi-hat using 16th notes, and that's looping over top of the 4/4 feel on the kick and the snare. And obviously, I don't expect everybody to get this right off the bat. I like to write it out for my students so they can see where the note values are and where things line up on a grid. It makes it a little easier. Another beat I like to teach my students involves a swing pattern on the ride. It's fundamental of jazz and much of rock music. Just sounds like this. Something like that. Just getting jazzy with it. Because it's really important to learn to swing. It's one thing if you can sit here all day and just go, but something happens. It's a more technical beat to keep that feel. pretty important to learn how to swing and play jazz. We can play punk rock if you want. We can go fast. We can play some reggae, one-drop beats they call them. I like to teach the Bonham triplet. That's a really cool fill. So you're just going. There's 3 notes, hence the triplet name. So I lead with my left hand on the rack tom, and then I do floor tom, and then kick drum. He might have led with the floor tom and then the rack tom. I'm not sure. I naturally lead with the rack tom. And then you can throw the snare in. You can make it into quadruplets, where you're doing 2 on the kick drum. All kinds of fun beats over at MobileMusicTeacher.com. Sign up for a lesson today and we'll have some fun.